Hey Capricorns, welcome to my channel. This is Lotus Magic. I want to start off by saying Happy New Year. And the reading I'm bringing you tonight is a New Year reading. Just taking a look at what's in store for Capricorns for 2020. Just a reminder, this is a general reading. It will not apply to all Capricorns, but for those Capricorns that it does apply to, apply what resonates and leave the rest. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Um, Capricorn, I mean, it's a really good year for you. Um, and I say that because your chakra message is growth. And I feel like that's the theme for you this year. You've been growing, you've been learning, and because of that growth, you're now moving into a new phase where you're stronger, smarter, wiser. And because of that, you're going to be moving your life in a new direction. So your oracle guidance message comes from the angel of new life. Like, I don't know how to sum it up any better than that. It's like new year, new you, especially mentally. Even if you haven't quite gotten to the point where you're taking the action, you're mentally there. And for Capricorn, that's where it all starts for you, in the mind before action. Capricorn is an earth sign, so it's a little bit slower moving. You don't make moves that aren't calculated. You tend to be a little bit more logical. So I mean, to get it in your mind and stand on it is a lot of tremendous growth for Capricorn. So the angel of new life says an exciting new chapter in your life is about to unfold, and I'm really, really feeling that from these cards. Now, what area of life that I'm getting from the energy of these cards that were brought out for you, it has to do with how you deal with your relationships, romantic relationships. A lot of strength. Um, you've got a lot of strength this year, and that mental strength is going to help you move and make the necessary moves to put yourself in a better position as far as love and relationships go. Where you need to focus your energy, Capricorn, is forgiveness. Okay. And I clarified that with the hostility card, energy card. So, Capricorn, coming into this year, you may have been holding on to a lot of hostilities, or you are still holding on to some hostilities, either from a past relationship or in your current relationship. And you're being asked this year to focus your energy on practicing a lot more forgiveness, because that's going to help you relieve these hostilities. Forgiveness is for you. So you are not forgiving this person because you need to reconcile. You're forgiving this person because you need to release this hostility. And if we see here, we have the number 26, okay? 2 is the number of patience and peace and intuition, and 6 is the number of family, relationship, service. So, um, in order, if you're looking to make the necessary moves to prepare yourself for a better relationship, you're going to need to practice forgiveness from your past relationships, forgiveness of yourself for allowing the things that have transpired in your relationship that have hurt you happen. Forgive yourself for staying too long. Forgive the person who hurt you, because 9 times out of 10, they are simply operating from the program that they have adopted from their life. And it has nothing to do with you. But you need to practice forgiveness so that you can release yourself of the energy that's being connected. A lot of this could be, you may not be with the person physically, but energetically, you're still connected. Why? Because you're hanging on to this hostility. Okay. Um, I'll say this quote that I found online. Resentment is like drinking poison and expecting it to kill your enemy. And that's the attitude you need to adopt. You're not hurting anybody but yourself by holding on to any negative emotions about a past relationship or even a current relationship. Let it go. And forgive, heal, and prepare yourself to move on. So this year, you really need to focus on releasing the hostilities from your mind. Okay. All right. This year, your chakra energy message comes from growth. Growth is this card tells the story of a person, grass, who comes out as being gay. Um, And because of that, he's heavily judged, ridiculed, and shunned from society. He can't really find a job, can't really find an apartment, can't find really any stability because he has decided to come out and be who he's truly supposed to be or is truly feeling he is. Okay. And why I think this card really applies to you is because I feel like a lot of you Capricorns in the collective have been holding on to tradition, either holding on to this relationship um, because it satisfies your environment. And perhaps it's even part of the program that you were instilled in terms of how relationships go. That loyalty, being loyal, like loyalty is such an overrated and overused word. Like, I don't even like to hear it because people are so worried about being loyal to people who mean them no good for the sake of being loyal. It's almost like people are being guilted into being loyal. Like, you're not even allowed to be loyal to yourself anymore because society says we have to be loyal to those that we are in relationships with. Well, a lot of these relationships, especially ones that require you to almost like give blood to show your loyalty, are very toxic. Okay, anybody that's healthy and loves you knows that you need to put yourself first. So, with that being said, it's really just time for you to focus on breaking away from anything that you've outgrown. Okay, it's time to get a change of scenery. Um, Start going new places, moving. It may be time for you to move, to relocate. I see that for you, Capricorn. You're focused on getting out of the environment that doesn't allow you to grow anymore. Okay, it's time for you to learn new skills. It's just time to grow. It's time for you to lay roots somewhere where you can in soil that provides you the nutrients you need to grow healthy. Okay, so ask yourself, Capricorn, what have I outgrown, and am I willing to become independent so that I can be who I truly am? Okay. If you're struggling with codependency, that's something you need to work on, because you should not be so dependent on having someone with you that you're willing to settle for anything less than you deserve. It's time for you to take a stand, live your truth, and start teaching others by being an example. You're a warrior. You are very courageous. So it's just really time for you to stand on your truth and be who you are supposed to be. Okay? Forget tradition. Okay? Forget trying to be who you've always been to everybody because it is not helping you grow. It is keeping you stagnated in relationships you no longer need to be in. Okay? Or with a person that you no longer need to be with. In an environment that you no longer need to be in. If you want this new life where there is emotional balance, there's light, there's sun, it's renewed, it's healing, it's just a renewed sense of energy. You see that she's naked. She can be herself. She's free. If you want to be free, you need to um, put your roots somewhere else. Okay? The blockages for you, Capricorn, I have the Ten of Coins. And what I'm getting from this is what's really blocking you right now might be financial. Okay. You need to do work on the financial planning. If you're not able to relocate or move, the way you deal with your money and the way that you're setting up your legacy is really blocking you from that. So you really need to focus and hone in on the legacy you want to leave for your children, your family, whatever. But that's in your true self, okay? Um, so money might be an issue for you, Capricorn, but I feel like it's probably not because the money isn't coming into you. It may just be the way that you're handling your finances. So you need to get a handle on how you're handling your finances so that you can start focusing on leaving the financial legacy and the legacy and building a future for your family. Again, you may need to leave an environment. Perhaps the environment you in drains you financially. Um, could be the home. It could be like the people you're around. Everything. It kind of blocks your focus on building a financial future. So that means you need to pay attention to your finances and start focusing and really thinking about the legacy that you want to leave for your family, your financial future. Become a little bit more diligent. Okay. Don't spend money just for the sake of spending money to be able to say you have it. Capricorn, you're very status oriented, to the point where you can almost trap yourself in a lifestyle that you really can't afford simply for the sake of holding up a certain image. Okay, you need to lose that. Okay, a lot of people in the world, unless you're in the millions of dollars, most Americans at this point are not financially where they want to be. So you don't need to pretend to be that if that's not where you are, because it's actually working against your ability to set up a financial plan for your family. All right, your outcome for this year, with healing, doing the work, focusing on growth. We have the Hierophant card. Now, for some of you, this may be getting married, moving away from a situation, and you may meet the person you're supposed to marry. Self discovery may be what the outcome is for you, Capricorn. So many of you guys are going to be discovering who you really are. You're going to be, I feel like some because Capricorns are very conservative. You may have been in a relationship or are currently in a relationship that doesn't really match your conservative nature. That may have been unconventional to who you really are, and you may be moving out of that situation and getting back to the conservative nature. But for a lot of Capricorns, I feel like self discovery and seeking a higher truth, maybe even through some organization, seeking help, just some higher order, really manifesting your new life through self discovery. Self discovery keeps coming up as a lot. Like, it's really just time to focus on yourself, and focus on who you are and where you want to be and where you want to go. Okay, so that's great, great. Like, if Capricorn, do the work. Don't be stubborn. I know you're an Earth sign, and sometimes it's just hard to make those moves for you guys and get out of the line of tradition. But I really feel like taking um, the traditional route that you've taken is really kind of harming you a little bit. So it's time to tap into a higher level of self discovery this year, um, and it could be that you're being too conservative in the way that you're handling things, to the point where you're not willing to adopt new ideas and thoughts and things like that. So if that's you, it's time to get out of that rigid um, conservative thinking and um, stop relying so much on logic and allow your intuition to guide you on where you need to go. All right, I also took a look at um, Capricorn's love life because I felt like this reading had a lot to do with relationships. And I simply asked, what's love gonna be like for Capricorns this year? And it's so amazing how this darkness ended with such light. And it's almost like I'm walking through the story of Capricorn's love life right here from left to right. So before I show you the cards, I do have to let you know that these are my exotic decks. So there is nudity and sexual image. If that bothers you, you may want to fast forward past this part. If not, then I just want to let you know. So the first card that I got, as it pertains to what love is like for Capricorn this year, I got the Strength card. And if we look here, we have this man and this woman, and he's wearing black. Mystery. I feel like this is could be just a darkness. This card is like dark to me, and her hand is on the sword, which lets me know that she's gaining control of her mental. So this year, like I said, Capricorn, you're really getting a hold of your mental um your mental strength, okay, to walk away from a relationship that brings you darkness, okay, no longer being controlled by someone who is manipulative or just dark, like a relationship that is dark, okay. Now this relationship made you smarter, it made you wiser, and you're really like, I almost want to say you're closing the chapter because you're it's like a book, okay, and just imagine you writing your own book. You are finishing this chapter, and in this chapter you had to learn some lessons, you had to become smarter, so you had to go through this phase, okay. um so it's like you're walking away from a relationship that made you feel trapped. Here with the Eight of Cups, if we look at this card, we have a man like basically like forcing this woman to engage with him, and she's terrified. She doesn't want to do it, and it's like I'm being held hostage. Many of you guys have been emotionally trapped by past relationship. Either it was a past relationship that you got out of, but you're mentally still connected, emotionally still connected, even if that person isn't physically around, or you're physically being trapped in a relationship by someone who threatens you, makes you feel shame, guilt, something for wanting to walk away. But Capricorn, you're going to get the strength to do that, and I see that. Okay. When you do all of that, here we have the Sun card. So look at the contrast between these two cards. I mean, it's like night and day. Night and day between these two cards. So you're walking through this darkness, these lessons, this entrapment, this mental and emotional kind of like prison, and you're coming out with the Sun card. Okay, the Sun card is like illuminating a possibility, and that's why I say for many of you, you may meet someone who provides you with calm and peace and care. You feel safe. You are both naked, and in this deck, when I see both partners are naked, that means that you are both on the same accord. You're in the same energy. You are both free to be who you are in this relationship. And it's like light to you. Like you feel safe, you feel calm. Okay? Coming out of this darkness where, you're like, this is like being with a charming manipulative person to someone, and if we look at this card here, you see he has clothes and she doesn't, okay. A relationship you tried to be yourself in, and it only brought you shame and guilt or manipulation, okay. A person who manipulated your good nature, okay. You're walking away from that, but you had to learn your lessons, you had to get the strength, you had to go through all that in order to grow. You did, okay. And you're like starting off this year, you're just not in the mood to settle for no bullshit, like from a relationship. You're ready to walk away if it's current, you're ready to move on, but it's going to take some forgiveness. You're going to have to release the hostilities, and that is going to be for you, because what's coming for you is someone who is of an equal, who makes you feel equal, who makes you feel good. The Sun is a healer. The Sun is a healer. So a relationship that is going to be healing for you, because you've already experienced the toxicity in your previous relationships. So after you go through this period of healing or doing whatever it is you need to do, what you're going to be attracting is someone who helps you heal. All right, lastly, Capricorn, I'm going to give you your crystal insight message. And this is kind of like my prescription, okay? We've diagnosed, and now we're ready for the prescription that's going to help us along on this journey. Your first crystal you got was the malachite crystal. And this is a subconscious mind crystal, really working with your unconscious programs and beliefs. And that's why I said earlier, which is so interesting, I feel like you guys have been stuck in tradition. Perhaps you saw your parents stay in relationships that were no good for them because you know it's this loyalty mindset. And watching people in relationships that you emulate, um, that really weren't healthy for them. And then just having this sense of, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up on my family. I'm not giving up on this relationship. I'm going to be loyal. I'm not going to walk away. I'm going to, just stay. And it's not. Look at, this is the type of relationship that you're choosing. If you've been choosing to stay, this is what you've been dealing with. When in all actuality, walking away is going to bring you something much more brighter. Okay, malachite crystal also warns against being aware of charm. Okay, now in this particular interpretation, it talks about men, but I'm just gonna say for in any Capricorn, being aware of a person who is charming. And it's possible that this person that you're dealing with has a certain level of charm that keeps you stuck. But charm is manipulative, okay? Um, if they have to charm you, then it's kind of almost like a spell. It's like putting a spell of words. With their words, they're able to intoxicate you and manipulate you into doing things their way. Okay? Not everything is as it seems, and protect yourself against unforeseen forces and powerful minds that manipulate you. Okay? So you need to learn to get some psychic protection. Protect your energy this year, Capricorn. Um, get you some tourmaline, some malachite. Get you some of these crystals so that you can protect your energy and keep that strength that you have in your mind, because it's one thing to have it in your mind, and then when it's time to act on it, here comes the charm, here comes the shame, the guilt, the force, the entrapment. So you're gonna have to really protect your energy to keep your mind strong. Okay, you also have the blue lace agate. This is a self-expression crystal, and it's asking you to express the fullness of who you are. Be confident when you speak. You have a lot to share. Okay? You may have been silenced in the past. So this relationship has probably not allowed you to speak your truth. Okay? And maybe even as a youngster, you may not have been able to, which is why you keep holding on to that tradition of keeping quiet. Okay? Sorry about the train. Don't worry about anyone judging you. People are gonna have so much shit to say, but you cannot care this year. You cannot give two cares about what people think. It's time to do you, for you. Okay? Don't repress your thoughts. Okay? Work with your throat chakra so that you can keep that energy in your throat chakra balanced, so that way you don't get lost with your words or develop an inability to speak. Okay? Um, focus your mind on your intuition. Okay? Your life is destined to be happy, but you've got to put your foot down and do the work. Okay? If Capricorn, if you've been experiencing like neck and shoulder tension, it's because you're not expressing yourself. Okay? So in order to release that energy from your neck and your shoulder area, you're gonna need to start to express yourself, okay? And if you don't feel comfortable doing it in public just yet, get a journal, write it down. But you need to get it off of you so that you can get your body released from that stress, okay? So for Capricorn, um, spring and summer, you might notice a lot of changes, okay? Um, you're working your mental up, and it may take a little time. I'm not saying tomorrow you have to um, make a move, but definitely by this summer, because both of these crystals, as far as timing is concerned, they both have the Gemini season in it, which is like the end of May to mid June. So, many of you might, if you're looking for a right time to do something, to make a move, to relocate, to meet someone, that Gemini season will probably be when you track those things that you're trying to manifest. All right, Capricorn, I'm so proud of you and your growth. I just ask that you continue to um, work on turning that mental strength into the physical strength that you need to start your new chapter. All right, Capricorn, Happy New Year. And until next time, love and light.